Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special edition of Trekking Across the Universe on this Friday, September 13th, 2024. Yes, it has nothing to do with Space 1999, but it does have something to do with space. You know who I am. Let's not waste time. Who's off to my... Oh, wait a minute. I missed it. Michael! How you doing, Michael?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm just hoping the moon doesn't blast out of the orbit today. So,
Space
I'm
1999
crossing my
reference.
fingers. So,
Yes. How you doing, Jag?
I'm just excited because we're doing Christmas, me and Christy here, red and green. I love
And
this.
so it
I
begins.
love this.
I feel like the Grinch.
Yes. And I feel like I don't know what I feel like.
Well, we'll see. Marsha, how you doing over there?
Hi, happy Friday to everybody. This is going to be an amazing show. Oh my gosh.
I believe this is the first time that you meet Christy, is it not, Marsha?
Yes, I've watched all the podcasts. I run the ARC series fan group, but this is our first time meeting.
I love it. I love that you're a part of this. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Folks, as we get going, I want to remind everyone, please help us out. Head on over. You see the links at the bottom, ndbmedia.net. And, of course, we can check out Christy's Instagram. You see it right there. And
have you
as
guys
always...
seen this?
Yes.
Yes. That's awesome.
They did Garnet dirty. I was like, first of all, those are natural curls. Second of all, Biodome vodka trying Kentucky whiskey.
Yeah.
Almost too much empathy.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's make it official. Michael, would you welcome our guest?
I mean, I don't think I need to, but
No.
this is Christie Burke. And
Christie Burke show.
She is a cool person in green today. And we are so happy that she is gracing us with her presence.
Oh my gosh.
We are.
I want to give a shout out, Elizabeth. Welcome, Elizabeth. And Nathan from Perth,
Classic.
Australia. So,
What time is it in Australia there?
Isn't that 9
Oh,
a.m.?
9 a.m. It's nothing for him today.
Okay.
I will tell you this, Christy. He was so excited when he realized you were coming on at 9 a.m. his time today.
Oh my gosh.
He
He was like,
so excited.
I planned it.
Well, and also because he woke up at 2 a.m. to be at our other one.
Oh my gosh. Was that so you did one earlier with Corral? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corral.
Yeah.
And so, but he's been both.
She's awesome.
He's a trooper. He's a trooper.
Yeah, what the heck?
So I've said too much. So Roger, I'll give it back to you.
Not at all. Not at all. Remember, Nathan is 9 a.m. Saturday morning. So if there's a head of the class, it would be Nathan. He's special. But all kidding
He's
aside,
special. He's in the future.
Yeah, he really is. Maybe he can tell us what's happening, but it's all good. Folks, we have quite a few people already in the chat room. Please let us know. Let's come on, sound. And there it, Norm. Thank you, Norm. Hi from Canada. And so it begins.
Norm, my Canadian brother.
Tom Ladd. Fortunately for Chrissy, she's not fading out in front of a green screen.
We wish. I don't think you'd see I'd just be a floating head.
That's funny.
It'd be like redoing the space stuff. Like when we do the space stuff, it feels like you're a floating head.
That's
well,
true.
maybe we'll get to see that in the special film of the year. Additional shout out to Elizabeth. Thank you for the shout out. And Tony Konopka. Thank you as well. I don't know if he's in Detroit or Philadelphia. And Pep Pest. Hi from North Carolina.
What the heck?
Tom Ladd is in New Hampshire. Yes.
This is
okay.
so
Here we go.
Global.
If you ask me to predict the future, I
cow.
cannot guarantee that I will be correct. Whatever. Hey, Tony! There he is, Detroit, Michigan. This is really neat. As you know, I'm in Southern California. Oh, look at that. Darcy Kirk.
Hi, Darcy. Wow.
Darcy,
Yeah.
I'm from Vancouver, BC. This is so cool. I didn't know anyone in Canada watched this show.
They're watching you, Christy.
Surprise.
That's
Now.
what it is. Yes.
I genuinely didn't know if anyone outside of my family watched this show.
Wow,
Yeah,
Darcy, you made Christie's day.
Yeah, you freaking made my day. Me and my sister, we had to wear our hats that Jag made. Hi, Richard. Oh, he's gone. He's back. He's gone. We had to wear our hats to Comic Con because people were like, "What are you in?" And we'd be like, "The art."
Let's see. Norm says CTV is showing it. Well, there you
Oh,
go.
very cool. Very cool.
And look, it's all good, and we're just going to get into it, folks. We're reviewing
Okay.
the episode, and this is a genuine surprise. It is September 13th. I think I already said that, and we're ready to go.
Ooh, spooky.
Yeah, right.
Friday.
Friday the 13th. It is what it is.
Yeah. It
And
is
look
what
at
it
that.
is.
Lots of fans in Canada for sure.
Like, I have nothing to say. I can't believe there's people from Vancouver or just Canada on here. Like, what?
As a matter of fact, our co-hosts have talked about in other episodes that they're always looking out to see who's going to be the one to mention the title. As you know, Dean
Yes.
works it in. This time it was yours, right? You had the chance to mention
Oh, the cycle of. Oh, yeah, you're right. I didn't know that. This is news
it's-
to me.
It's only because I was paying attention. And there he is, Richard. Morning.
Hey,
And
Richard.
where are you, Richard?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Yeah, I know you're fine, but where are you?
Where am I? I am in Ohio.
He's like, I'm in planet Earth.
I'm in Ohio where I can't let my cat out or someone might eat it.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
No
that's
comment.
going
So
on.
that's the crazy stuff going on around here. I don't know. It's just it's an ongoing joke here, and
it's a weird world.
yeah. So I mean,
just in it.
I didn't start this one.
Yeah, at least there's that.
Yeah, definitely. But all kidding aside, folks, I don't have my notes. Surprisingly, I'm very disappointed. If someone can help me, we need the writers and the directors. But let's just get to it. Episode 9, we are now complete 2/3 of the way. Christy, you are here because you'd like to be involved in the discussion of the episode.
I'd love to be in the discussion. I'll be the fly on the wall.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
okay. Uh-huh. Yeah, definitely the big fly on the wall, but it's all good. Christy, is there anything that you want to give us a background on this episode before we get to it?
I'm just so grateful that I no longer have to hold this secret.
Mhm.
Ah, Lane's dead. I can say it from the rooftops. He's dead.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Now,
No,
folks,
I don't mean it. I don't mean it like I wanted him to die. I mean it in the sense of like that was hard to hold that long because like people were like thinking that he was going to be my match on the Juno project, and people were really shipping us, and I was just like, little do they know.
Wow.
Little do they know.
Well, there's still Ian.
There's still Ian. Yeah, that's true.
he is a clone after all.
He is
Yeah.
a clone. No, I actually really like Ian. Ian's character is really funny, and
Yes,
I
it
like
is.
to
It
see.
is.
I like to see Ian and Garnet in scenes together because he brings out something quite different in her. Like he makes her quite comedic in a way. I think it's cool to see that, and it was fun to act opposite of that for sure.
Do you think he's the voice of reason in a way, or because he's so laid back, or?
I think Ian is like what's so great about his character is that he's a clone, and he doesn't make it his story. Like it's not like the narrative that he keeps telling himself to like make himself feel less than. He's like, yeah, I'm a clone. Yeah, people used to try to take my body parts, but I survived.
I'm going to read a book.
I'm gonna read about it. Every day's Tuesday. Like I just love that like approach or like perspective on like his circumstances, because like with a character like that, it could be quite morbid and dark. And I think Reese and Jonathan Glasner did something really brilliant with that character, which is make it kind of the opposite of that, like very
Yes.
humorous and
Yes.
and owns like he's unapologetically a clone, whereas like we saw Garnet kind of have issues with that, as well as Lane for sure, and so I don't know. I like that perspective, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the endearing part of Ian, is that
Yeah.
I want
he
to.
faced so much turmoil,
Yeah.
and he just accepts it in a comedic way and just like
Yeah.
blasé. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Jag, I cut you off. The writer was
Sorry,
James DeLorean on this one, and the director was Hannah Espia. So I think we get all the technical stuff out of the way, and we can get to it. Um, Christy, I have to tell you that in this episode, it is very rare when I tear up watching television, and I teared up when you made, I don't know if it's peace, but you made the deal,
Mm.
and I felt it was genuine. And like I said, I've only teared up twice in anything, and that was when Kirk blew up the Enterprise in Star Trek 3, and there
Yeah.
was another one somewhere. And we'll get into some of the other stuff, and maybe I'm going to ask everyone what was the moment in the episode that maybe affected you the most, because there is quite a bit that happened. I want to go over to Michael on this one. What stood out for you? Because I will say that I could strangle you, Michael, because you did want to spoil it for me by saying, "Oh my God, it's a great episode." Like, oh,
Well,
thank
yeah,
you.
well, that was my job. I wanted you to go see it before I finished my sentence, and no, you didn't. You didn't.
I saw it today at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah.
So what stood out for you, Michael?
Couple things, but the one that actually, when I rewatched it today, it when you were taught after Lane had gotten stabbed, you came back up to the bridge and were communicating to the other ship, and your hands had the blood on, and your hands were trembling. I mean, they were just trembling, and that's what got me. I did not notice that the first time that I saw it, but I did see it this last time, and it was like, oh, that is so. Yeah.
I know that scene was actually ended up being really great, because the last beat of that where I like hit the table and say "damn it" and then like have a breakdown wasn't scripted. I like just remember being so fed up that day, because like my hands were covered in this blood. I couldn't touch anything. I like wanted to put my headphones in because music really always gets me focused, and I couldn't, and I just was like, ah! And I just remember being like, I don't understand this scene, and then feeling like there needs to be stakes. You know, my friends and potential lover has just been like brutally stabbed, and I find too, like, Garnet really makes leeway in that episode with Captain Avega, and to have that all kind of taken away like that is just like, it was like she was like healing years and years of cycles of violence, and this like repetition of the same story or the same episode that we kind of see, which is like the bad guys versus the good guys or whatever. And there felt like real like progress being made, and then obviously to have him stabbed or whatever. But yeah, none of that was written, and I couldn't believe it made it into the episode. I was like, wait, what? I don't even remember doing that. This is kind of crazy. Yeah, the shaking thing, I don't even remember doing that. Like, it was pretty wild to watch.
You know, Michael, that stood out for me as well. Marcia, then
Yes.
Jag, and Richard. What
Thank
stood out for
you.
you on the episode?
Well, one moment that you had, Christy, was when you were talking to the doctors, Kabir and Marsh, and I could see your brain thinking, well, maybe if you switch places, maybe you can think of what you can, and that desperation really came through, and that was a gut wrench moment for me, because I could feel your desperation, but your thought process as the leader, you were the leader, and becoming even more so then.
Wow. Yeah, that was a really hard scene to film. I think we only had like 4 hours to film all that stuff, and we did it like as one big scene. Like I told them, like, I can't cut, like we'll just have to do it as one big continuous scene, just because it's so emotional, and it kind of like the scenes lead you up to like the decision making of all that. And I think when like Shalini, just what an incredible actor. When I would look at her, I'd just she's so warm and like Mother Earth to me. I don't know. She gives me Mother Earth energy, and every time I'd look at her and know like she would be giving me the eyes of like, you have to do this. It was just so tough. But it's interesting because I kind of got that idea from This Is Us when she finds out her husband's dead or whatever, in the sense that like as humans, it's so awful what you're hearing that it's hard to rationalize the death. It's easier to try to fix it. And that actually the emotion doesn't come until like 20 seconds later. So it's like you're hearing this thing and you're going, well, no, like that's funny that you're saying that you could do this and this and this. And so it kind of was born out of attempting that, like realizing that like, oh, I don't have to cry immediately as an actor, that there's a journey here. And I think James did a really great job writing that kind of, where it's like, it's more human as opposed to something that's more cinematic. So that's cool that you related to that. It was, let me tell you, that was a hard scene to film. Hardest thing I think I've ever done in my career. To sustain it for that long was really tough.
It was brilliant. Thank you for that.
I want to, before we go to Jag, we have a few comments, but we have quite a few people giving us likes. Michael Bednar, Randy Landers, Frank Madrid, Bob Bitt. Thank you, guys. Why don't you sound off in the chat room if you would? And Nathan says, losing Lane was definitely the part that hurt me the most.
Yeah, because he became a good guy.
Oh, interesting. He became a good guy, but when you uttered the phrase in the episode, we're the bad guys.
Oh, oof.
That was great. Yes.
I love that, like, that they did that. Like, this whole time you've been thinking, like, the GSA is great. They're this, they're that. And to, like, then, like, realize that they were the ones that were, like, awful is kind of genius. Like, that's why Dean and Jonathan are so amazing at what they do. Truly. Like, I remember reading that being like, damn, like, that is good. I was like, wow, that is some good writing, you know?
As a matter of fact, Michael, who you met, he is the one who created the Harry Potter items. Yes. Best actor in the latest.
What the heck? I didn't get to meet his daughter at Comic-Con. Michael, I'm sorry. I couldn't find her. Anyways. I was supposed to...
Whole other story.
Whole other story. I was supposed to meet her. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, hey, no, no, we're
this is your
you.
show.
Yeah, we're interrupting you on that one. And he says, no worries, of course. And then Elizabeth said earlier, the image of Garnet staring at the blood on her hand is going to haunt me for a long, long time. Yeah, there's no doubt. Jag, did you want to go ahead? What was it that stood out for you in the episode?
So what the other two mentioned were the precursors to the very end when she wants to go see Lane for the final time and talk about Kabir trying to protect Garnet, and Garnet's trying to stay strong to do the final farewell. That probably got me because it had, like you said, it was building up with the scenes from the beginning, because Garnet wants to protect her crew no matter what. Right? We talked about that a couple of times before, and she's so used to trying to save her crew. And I saw that
she's so
desperation.
Composed.
Yes.
Too, it's like, I think for the audience, it can be quite jarring to watch an episode like that, because Garnet's the one that you can always rely on. Like, she's always going to, like, get the job done. She's always composed. And so to see her, like,
vulnerable,
break, I think is quite intense.
Yeah, that was the intense part, because we never thought from season 1 to season 2 that even the two of them are going to meet up like they have been, right? And then when we see Garnet, who's always used to pulling a rabbit out of her hat to save somebody or to do something, and to see her desperation with the doc. And you know what really got me? You know where what really got me? The little line when you said, "You're both are good doctors." Once they told Garnet that they couldn't do anything about it, and I think Marcia even comes back and says, "We're not God." And then later when Sharon finally realizes, that they are obviously facing that point when they said, you're both are good doctors and, whatever. It was her trying to, I guess, I'm trying to get the word, but I'm so speechless. I was trying to realize that there was not much to do anymore. And then at the end, when Garnet goes to see Blaine, that was
sad.
extremely.
My tears like covering Reese's face.
I said it.
We shot that a bunch, and Reese by the end of it was like, "Can someone give me a napkin?" He was like, my eyes. Gosh, someone give me a napkin.
We were live tweeting that night with James, Dean, and everybody there. Everything. And I'm gotta say, in all the years of watching television, I've watched pretty much a lot of sci-fi. I'm the first to say it. That last episode that we just saw, Emmy material, Emmy Award material. That's just the way I'm going to say it right now, because I had never been moved so much than like I was that night.
It's a really good episode, and I think it has good momentum, and it's kind of different, right? It's about something a little bit different than we're used to, and like, I'll just say the elephant in the room, like it aired on September 11th. It's about the cycle of violence. I don't know if that was coincidental, but like really beautiful, I think, to have that on that day. That meant a lot to me. I've been to the museum and stuff like that, and I lived it. I was also someone, even though I was in Canada, I lived that event. It was just really cool to have that on that day. It was like made it extra potent a little bit, I think, for me. That's really beautiful.
Yeah, it is in a heart-wrenching kind of way.
Yeah.
But that's my thoughts on it. Roger?
Richard, what stood out for you? What was a scene or two that stood out?
I just realized I'm the tallest one here.
That stood out for him the most.
But that's what stood out. No, Lane did. Lane did stand out. I mean, and so we've talked about that. That's going to be the focal, and that was a gut-wrenching. And I did binge watch This Is Us on Netflix. So when you say that, I know where you're coming from. I'm like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
I get it, because I don't know if the other ones here I've seen that series, but I did binge watch it because it was good. I thought it was a good series. Totally. But anyway, besides Lane standing out, I think the other thing that stood out was Angus somehow being connected to Kelly and seeing her everywhere. That had to be. I mean, I know I didn't see her all at once, but when you're watching it on TV, it's like that has to freak somebody out, seeing Kelly everywhere, just looking at her.
Poor Angus, haunted by Kelly for 2 seasons now.
Yeah.
So is this
poor Angus?
So to me, it seems like now they can be kind of codependent a little bit, because if they have low on nanets, they can share them, and now I'm wondering if Kelly will get visions of Angus. So this is really it was really weird how everything stood out really in this episode.
Yeah, there was a lot.
This episode didn't have so much soap opera stuff in it. I mean, there wasn't all these couples like, "Oh, I love you. Do you love me?" No, I'm hurt before. So this was kind of cool. And now I see.
I love that. Listen, Jonathan Glasner, no more soap opera stuff. No more lovey-dovey stuff.
Yeah. And one more thing. Now I know why you eat all that ice cream, because you're running all over the set and you need all that energy.
Oh, totally.
I mean, you run everywhere. It's like there's no walking. If you're walking really fast. I mean,
but I gotta save humanity. Of course, I'm running into stuff. I think you should ask the actors who weren't running into scenes why they weren't running.
Oh,
can't keep up with Garnet.
I'll write that down.
Where were their stakes? No,
yeah.
Well, I know Reese can say, well, he couldn't run because he was on a table.
How good was that? He did that in one take, guys. When he gets stabbed and the blood comes out.
Oh,
really?
They had one take to do it. I can't remember why. We were running literally we had 20 minutes to get the scene, and Reese frickin' nailed that. It was so
Wow.
good. It was so good. He did it, and we all were like, "You nailed it." And it's also like when you're dealing with like blood scenes like that. Sometimes like the VFX guys will like hit the button, but the blood doesn't come. So then it's like, like the battery's not in right or something. Like anything can go wrong with that kind of stuff. So it was really cool to like see like movie magic because that's like was literally one take. That's all they did. Yeah.
Wow.
Hope says they suffer from a lack of the zoomies. And I want to thank you, Hope, for the shout out as well. She's from out there in Louisiana. So who knows? Maybe she'll have a chance to go to the convention next month. Never know.
Yeah.
And we'll mention something about that in a little bit. But we do have quite a bit of comments. There's a little bit of sarcasm right here. How to kill a character and keep the actor's job.
Oh my gosh.
And then losing Nathan was definitely the part that hurt me the most. But there was one other one. I think it was this one. Losing Lane was heart wrenching, but at least Reese isn't going anywhere. I hope.
I hope.
Michael says of all the episodes from season 1 and 2, the latest episode was the best in writing and acting. It was fantastic. You know, on a personal note, the writing has gotten us to here. And I have to tell you, you're right. You did tell us about episode 9. And I think in the back of my mind, it was there. But now seeing it, Christy, this is the stuff. There doesn't have to be a lot of action. It's about the drama, and it was real. We did not know the entire story of the Eastern Federation.
Yeah.
And it finally hit us. We hinted about that. That, oh, now maybe you guys are the bad guys. And when you get the clarity, the realization hits us as well. Knowing that, oh, man, you know, these may not be the heroes that they are. But nothing changes. What Ava was doing, she goes, it doesn't matter what I am. I'm here today.
Yeah.
And knowing that peace was hanging on a thread and knowing that Lane, who is anti
Eastern Federation.
Clone, actually anti-clone, then Eastern Federation, unfortunately, he still gives his life to make peace. I mean, it's beyond deep, Christy.
Yeah, really deep. And like, yeah, I haven't put my head around it because it's like, you know, I like what Ian says actually in that med-based stuff where he's like, this is what we were bred to do, is to give organs, it will work. And it is kind of the trolley problem that I always want to say Stacy, but Alicia. It's because she is Alicia. But that Alicia brings up about, you know, saving saving them all by sacrificing one. It's like literally the foreshadowing what's to come in a way. But how good is Captain of Vega? Oh my gosh. He's a Canadian too. He's a Canadian but lives in England, Daniel. And he was just so lovely to act with. So demands attention, which I love. It was so funny when we were doing the scene where he introduces himself. He like walked up and he's supposed to say Captain Garnet, and he walks up and he's like, Captain of Vega. And he's like, oh shit, that's me. I mean, let's go back to it.
Oh my god.
It's so funny. He's like so lovely. It's like, I love that guy. You should have him on your podcast. He's amazing.
I'm trying.
We're trying.
Yeah, hopefully. Especially Tom says, especially as I like Tamara and her character, Jelena Griff. I love the little exchange over which country's space program was the best. Yeah, that was kind of cool as well. There was so much in this episode, but Michael, you told me it was a great episode. What else did you want to add to this?
Let's see. How about, what was you kind of said, maybe you have said, what was your favorite scene in this episode to film?
Ooh, that's tough. Maybe the negotiation where I have that big like thing about on and on, the cycle of violence will continue until there's no one left. Like that scene, I think, was the most rewarding because I just didn't know how it would work. I didn't believe it. I was like, this is so dramatic. I don't buy that, like me taking his hands and choking myself. Like I didn't think it was gonna work, and it did. It really did. And I think the blocking that we figured out on the day really helped. And when you really get down to it, like the words that I'm saying are so universal, and we're so present at that time of like what we're living through now, which is my favorite thing about sci-fi in general, that I just like connected to something in it. So I think that was my favorite, because I just didn't think the scene would work. Like I was like, I don't know if this could be bad. This could be really bad. But it worked. So yeah, I guess that one.
Wow, that is cool. I mean, it definitely worked. Pep Pest says, "Hope we see Vega in many more episodes." Yeah, hopefully.
I secretly wish, or I secretly hope we find out that like I'm a clone of his daughter that the GSA stole from him or something.
Oh, that would be cool.
Because like me and him kind of look alike a little bit. Like when I was watching episode 9, I was like, Daniel, are we related? Like we kind of look alike. So I secretly hope that like I'm like either am his daughter or a clone of his daughter or something like that. I think that'd be really cool. But now I've said it, so it probably won't happen.
You never know. We found out for better that they're watching, and you know who I mean. They
so
stunned
lovely.
us. They stunned us into silence. Let me tell you, Marcia. Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
And either a particular point or something else in the episode.
Well, I've watched it more than once already, for a lot of reasons. But I noticed that the last word that Lane says is your name, Miss Sharon. And then when I watched it again, I thought, oh wow, that was powerful in so many ways, because yes, many of us had been shipping you two together, but his last thought was of you, and that was comforting in a way to me as a fan, but maybe also as Sharon's character, as she thinks about him in later episodes, maybe that'll bring her some comfort too.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see, because I really feel like this episode is like me and my acting coach have always said that this episode is the episode that like forever changes Garnet. Like Garnet as we know her is no longer the same. Like there's like, she can't go back now. Like there's a fracture in her, or like a break. And how does she move, and how does she lead from this space of grief? Because I think she loved Kat, and Kat was she was very close to Kat, but not like she was with Lane. Like Lane was, I think, I don't want to cry.
Yeah. Well, they've been through so much.
Lane was like the love. Lane was like the love of her life, I think, and I think she didn't know how to act on that, because I think she was lying when she said like, oh yeah, I blossomed a little later and I had boyfriends. I don't think she did. Like I think she was just alone in a lab. And so like I think Lane was the first person that really like made her feel something.
Right.
And then it's too late kind of thing, because he's dead.
Yeah.
Let me
So
get to this.
heartbreaking.
Yes, Hope is telling us they got power back down in Louisiana. I'm glad to hear that, Hope, and thank you for stopping in with us. And Nathan has a little bit of breaking news himself. He says, with the passing of Lane, I've got something exciting to announce. I started working on a tribute video of Lieutenant Spencer Lane's scenes. I did the planning part last night, and I'll be editing it over the weekend.
Wow.
Whoa!
Nice.
That's so cool.
I was tearing up towards the end of the planning, as it included Lane getting injured and when Garnet realized he won't make it. Christie, there was so much. Look, you have an incredible staff in front of the camera and behind the camera. Oh my God, young lady. I'm not going to say this was your episode, but this could have very well been your episode because of what you get to do in it. But another scene that stood out for me was when Bryce was screaming from the bridge.
Yeah.
And Garnet was not able to respond. could not respond because of what
Yeah.
everything was going on.
And I
think
didn't know he did that. I didn't know he did that. So we just had a Serbian person saying his lines.
oh yeah,
So like
he went blah 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 blah.
no, they do a good job. They do a good job. But like it's not
Wow.
Richard has like power and emotion behind his voice, and I've always said this about Richard, like it doesn't matter what scene I'm in with him. If I need to be emotional, I just like, he's my anchor. Like I can look at him and I know I'll get there because he's in it. He's always in it with me. And that's just a testament to how giving and generous of an actor he is. And me and him are always like, we're in scenes together and I'm like, I'm not supposed to be crying in this scene, but I'm crying. I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm just very, like, we're very connected like that when it comes to acting. But yeah, I didn't know that. So when I was watching it, I was like, whoa, like, whew, that guy can act. He's powerful. He's really good. Everyone is, though. Everyone is so good on our show. And I think this season in particular, like I think last season we were just trying to figure it out, just like the people on the Ark. And now we came back in season 2 with this like innate sense of comfortability and really kind of knowing the show that we're making. And I just think if we get a season 3, I think it I just like, I feel like we're climbing, you know?
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes.
yeah. Before I hand it off to Jag, I also wanted to tell you that in this episode, what again stood out was I was not shattered. I was shocked when he got stabbed. You know, and I
what
knew
an
it.
incredible fight scene. Like,
Yes.
can we just stop for a second? I watched that on TV and I was like, "Where's Richie? Good, just go to the other side." Like, he's so good. He's so good. Like, that was incredible. Incredible.
Yes.
Little Bruce Lee over there. What the heck?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then there's me and Deanna. Oh my gosh, I didn't tell you guys this. This is a little like behind the scenes info. Me and Deanna were like on the ground trying to help Vega. But because we didn't know what to do, because like literally we have like 2 lines and then it's like obviously it's gonna be on the fight. But we still had to be in the scene. So
Uh-oh.
we were dying laughing. We were like, yes, he's because like at some point it's like you're calling medbay, but we didn't have that, so we were just like and then poor Daniel was like, "Can you stop touching my chest?" And we were like, he's bleeding internally and like all this stuff, and like we were dying laughing. Like I couldn't look at her. It got to the point where I was like, I can't look at you. Like this is. It's like once you find one little thing funny, it's like
It's over.
It's over, and it can be the most serious scene, and you're like dying laughing. Poor Vega.
Yeah, and knowing what was happening, that is absolutely crazy. Jag, go ahead.
So it's hard to believe that it's been 58 days since you were with us, right? When the premiere was.
Yeah.
And
Crazy.
you were with us and you were saying, guys, we really brought it. We really brought it to you. And you were mentioning earlier, it's amazing. I'm actually running out of ideas of how to ask questions because you're already hitting the points. You're so good. And that's fine. That's fine. No, that's fine. But I just wanted to touch base on the fact that I agree with you. In season 1, we were just getting everything together and everybody was just trying to feel their way. And there was some kind of master class key that was turned for season 2 for the actors, for the production, for the writing, because this is not the Ark I know.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. This is not
same.
the Ark I grew up with. This is the Ark that grew up.
Yeah.
And
And
because
I feel like we grew up. Like
that's
as
what I'm
actors,
saying.
We kind of grew up, yeah.
Everybody from Alicia to where she was now starting to show a little. She's no longer the little cute innocent little girl anymore, right? And the writing.
Wait,
go ahead. You were gonna say?
No, I was going to give a spoiler, so I'm not going
Oh.
to.
But what I was gonna say is that it's just been such a ride for that led up to 9, that it was just we were so engrossed, and just the writing. We've had a couple of the writers on already, and it's just amazing the way the teamwork works to work to that goal, where no matter who wrote it, you can't tell who wrote it because
Yeah.
it's such a team effort. So if it was James, and he did an exceptional job with episode 9, but it was the culmination of JP Nickel. It was a culmination of India. It was a culmination of Madeline, who all worked to that level to get to that point. And then I think my question finally is going to be this. It came time. Is this the one where you kind of threw the script across the room and went, "What?" when you told us that? Because how was that the very first time you read it?
This actually wasn't the script that I threw across the room. It was actually. It's actually. What is my camera doing? It was actually. It's actually episode 10 where I threw my script across the room, and I had a lot. There's a thing that happens, and I had a lot of conversations with the powers that be about how I didn't agree. I still don't know if I agree. We'll have to talk about that.
We're coming back.
We'll talk about that next week, right?
Next week, right? We're gonna come back.
Yeah. We'll come back next week. But I forgot your question.
My question is.
This wasn't the one that I threw across the room. This one actually I read and I said, "Oh, F word," and then I just cried. Like, I really did cry. I think. I think it's hard to, even though it's a fictional character, I'm still living, in Serbia as Garnet in these situations. I've grown so much as Christie within Garnet. I love scenes with me and Lane. And so the idea that like that partner wouldn't be there in scenes with me anymore was very disturbing, and I hated the idea. I hated it. I was like, what? Because Lane is so like her anchor in a way, and always the one that like makes her, who challenges her decisions, but also makes her double down on her decision or change her decision. And I think without that, what kind of leader is she, is really my question. And so much of her identity as a human clone is within that relationship. So it's quite sad. It's really sad.
It is.
And I have to give a shout out to Igor, our cinematographer. We shot that med-bay stuff, and he did, him and the entire camera team did such an incredible job. Yeah. Like, we were simpatico, we're moving, we're doing this crazy blocking, and like I kind of showed up and was like, I don't want to have anything planned. I don't want to even be thinking about hitting a mark. We're just going to do this scene, and it might not be the same every time, but we're just going to do it. And they're so talented in Serbia and so incredible that they were like, we got you. Let's just shoot. Like, as an actor, to like have that permission is like so wonderful. And that's really because of the crew. Truly. That scene is as good as it is because of the crew and the amazing people that we have.
I think it was you and cast and crew. I think, you're right.
And there was movement and things happening, and like, it was really kind of what I think filmmaking is all about, which is like, they'd get really inspired by a movement we would do, and they would follow that, and we would get really, like, it was like a dance almost, which I think the best filmmaking is like that, it should, or at least feel like that.
Yeah, like I said, it's a masterclass for filmmaking, masterclass for acting, masterclass for everything, because that episode encompassed so much that it's hard to digest even days after.
Oh, wait for episode 10.
No, don't go there. So before we go real quick, you mentioned that this was some kind of like breaking point or turning point for Garnet. I'm curious from a Christie or actor point of view, was this in any shape or form a turning point for you?
I think those scenes, like the med bay scenes, were like, and even the like peace talk scenes are kind of, I think, one, they're the hardest thing. Like that entire episode is the hardest thing I've ever done in my career. Like genuinely, like to sustain that level of intensity and stakes throughout an entire episode is hands down the hardest thing I've ever done. Yeah, to play someone who has their back against the wall and want people to care about this character that's dying and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't want to cry. I'm really proud. And I think
should be.
You very should be.
I don't know why I'm crying.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You did it again, Jag.
Did it
You
again.
did it. That's 2 times with Christie.
Yeah, I think
Sorry.
like that episode, like after we filmed it, I really went like, wow, I can do it. I think as like artists and as creatives and as human beings in the world, like we can so often doubt our abilities or capabilities or our own worth or you name it, like any insecurity we can like that can arise for us as human beings, and to like kind of rise to the occasion, even though I was like scared shitless, to go like, no, I can do this. And if I just put one foot in front of the next, in front of the next, in front of the next, it will all pay off in the end. And so to see, not only like have completed it on set and feel really good about it, but sometimes you can feel really good about something and then you see it and it's absolute garbage. So to like feel good about it and then see that it's good and that it resonates with people and that it affects emotionality in people, which is all as an actor you really want to do, is to connect with audience, is like, it's like, wow, I did the thing. I did it. I think that's more important than winning an award, you know?
Yes.
Like that's why we go to set and make these shows, is to connect with human, to connect to the oneness of the world, which hopefully the audience feels. And yeah, I think that episode, it did, I don't think necessarily would say it broke something in me. I think it like solidified something in me, that I am Captain Garnet. I am a number one on, the call sheet, that I can do this thing. Like it made me go, I can do hard things, which I think is really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Just so you know that I know this is the second time I've done that, but I just want you to know I did tear up with you this time. So we did it. So we did it together. We did it together.
You messaged me and you were like, we're even. Well, now we're really even.
Now we're really even. And I got you this time. So we got each other.
Yeah.
All right. That's all for me for now.
Christie, I do want to thank you right now for these last few minutes, for having the humility and the courage to share what you did on what you're doing. This gives us an incredible insight into you and what it means. I mean, this is why we're here. This is why we're in.
Here.
And
this is why I'm in.
Yeah, and again, I know I'm beating the dead horse, but we still, as fans, are so amazed as to the commitment of everyone on this arc. It is just incredible.
Yeah, and listen, like that comes from Dean. I really want to say that. Like, I was quite nervous originally when I like took the job, because I was like, I don't know these people from Adam, and within 2 minutes of meeting Dean, I was like, oh, this is a man with a great heart. And I think the show, same with Jonathan Glasner. Like Jonathan Glasner is just, both of them are just like, I always like talk about them because I just think they're such incredible men and fathers and humans. And like, I think it really comes from them. Like, I think why we're all like, have skin in the game and really care and like have heart is because of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Again, I thank you for that. And before I go to Richard, maybe we'll get a little more emotional. Nathan Shirt says, it's like I was stabbed in the back, not in my chest. I was trying to watch as much of the panel a few months ago, but when I made it back to my desk, someone got annoyed as it was a little loud. That might have been me, and I apologize. I was just happy that you were able to watch my Resident Alien and the Ark merger video. I've watched that edit dozens of times and still cracks me up. There are 2 other comments that were further up. Also from Nathan, with the announcement of Reese's NDB Media panel, he's going to be on with us. I believe, Michael, is that tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna have so much fun because you get to
All
talk
right.
about like three characters. He plays 3 characters.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
if Janice is the two-faced one, is it Ian the three-faced one, or is it Lane the three-faced? I don't know. I just made that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
we'll
Well, no,
have to
because
see.
he plays alternate reality.
Right.
Yeah. Mhm.
Lane. He plays regular Lane, and then he plays Ian.
There's Ian.
So that could
And
be
he was,
Janice
and he was in
squared.
Outpost too.
Yeah, and he was on the Outpost. And
Yeah, so,
he's in
yeah.
Almost Paradise. I mean,
He's everywhere.
Reese Ritchie, everybody.
We already had someone make a comment saying, "Am I allowed to ask him about the Outpost, or is it just the Ark?"
Oh my gosh! No,
Don't do
of
anything.
course. He,
I told him
ask him
anything. Yeah,
anything.
almost
Yeah.
anything. Yeah. Mhm.
Now,
Yeah, he'll
Nathan
love that.
said that he had fun with the image by crossing out Lieutenant Spencer Lane and writing Ian, but I didn't due to spoilers. And also, funnily enough, one of the gifts I made last night was when Garnet slammed the desk and said, "Damn it, I'll be posting it tonight." That was earlier. I apologize, but I'm glad.
Oh
I was
my
able to get
gosh!
to it.
So good, so good.
Let
Damn
me
it.
tell you what is so good. Ladies and gentlemen, we're already an hour into the program.
Whew.
We are.
Unbelievable.
Holy
and we
cow.
are running. We have to respect Christie's time. Folks, we're maybe 15 to 30 minutes. Please fire up your
Yeah.
comments and questions on the episode. Richard, go.
One of the other scenes that got me, and first off, let me say, Captain Zed, General Zod. So,
Oh, wow.
but when you told him to kill you,
Oh yeah.
was intense because he had you
Yeah.
by the throat. And you're like, yeah, kill me. I mean, you want to save people, but yet you're going to wipe us out. So that was an intense scene that you were in too. So
Yeah,
what
that
was
was
like
a
filming
crazy
that?
scene.
I mean, you're just like one intense one intense scene after another for your character and you as an actress. So how did you just keep going the whole time without burning out, man?
I don't know. I think because Christmas was on the horizon.
Oh, okay.
I was like, we're breaking for Christmas after this episode, which I think was really needed. But I don't know. That stuff I was really nervous about because it felt like the most unlike Garnet and yet so Garnet. Like she's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers, you know? Like she's so good at reading people and kind of knowing where to push to get kind of what she wants in a way. But yeah, I think like it just was, that was a hard scene. I didn't know how that one was going to turn out. And I'm lucky I had Daniel, who was such a great scene partner that made it, because I feel like scenes like that, you can feel kind of like a soap opera. It can feel not grounded in truth or feel real. So yeah, I don't know. That scene was crazy. That was a crazy scene to film, genuinely. Really crazy. I can't believe I did that. Like it's insane.
Wow. We got 2 more likes. And if it's 2 different profiles, I don't care. It's Anna Higgin and Anna Higgins. So
Ooh.
we got 2 different likes. And look,
Alternate.
such a great, and you know
Dang.
what? We're in change in media. How
Uh-huh.
do you go by? Are you an actor or are you an actress?
I'm either or. I'm so good with whatever. It
Good for
doesn't
you.
bother me. I'm like apples and oranges, baby. Apples and oranges. Like,
Okay, that
it
is
doesn't
good to
like
know.
actress, actor, performer, person that hits a mark. Like I'm good.
Oh,
Indian.
that's
I'm
funny.
good.
So are you a blocker then? Because I mean that might work for
Yeah.
sports as well.
Yeah. Yeah, could you imagine blocker? Yeah, no, in basketball I was a point guard, but
Oh.
yeah, I'm kind of like, I think the world is too sensitive.
And fair enough, but that's cool. You know what? That was a quick comment. Richard, did you have another one or?
I wanted to know
Mm-hmm.
where you sit in the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Oh,
ever
look
get
at that.
paranoid with everybody behind you?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Heck
That's
yeah.
funny.
at times I'm like, these guys got it easy back there because they can just like say their line to each other. I'm just
out there in space.
I'm just saying stuff and then like having to like.
You need a rear view mirror or something.
I was like, wouldn't it make more sense if I was behind them all? Like that. But then again, there's also something really cool where you can have scenes where what I'm saying isn't what is actually like showing on my face. So like it's also like I can be hidden. I can be quite secluded. No one can really see what I'm actually thinking or gonna do. Oh, that's another scene that I really loved in this episode was when I'm like,
oh yeah, the funny, yes,
and Richard's like,
yeah.
ready? I forgot about that scene. I liked that scene.
That was hilarious.
That was awesome.
Yeah. It reminded me of episode 10 in season 1 when I'm like we're doing that like we're gonna explode when they come up I forget like when they come up out of the airlock and then we like blow it up or something. And we're all like behind the door waiting or something.
Is that when Arc 15 was going to come over?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we're like, we've got guns or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're like looking through the window or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we like evacuate them from the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. It's when they were going to
Yeah.
come over. You guys were saying we're armed to the teeth and got everything, and they're like it's still coming, and then you all just I think you airlocked them out. Or
exactly. I loved that. I love that kind of stuff. There's some episodes coming.
You love the airlock?
That have that.
You
I love like trickery stuff, like where it's like we're like pretending something is happening, but it's actually not. That's kind of some of my favorite stuff. There's an episode that's kind of like that. There's more of that coming up.
Okay.
Oh, just real quick. Just something that just came up to me. We got to give it to Mr. William Truss. He finally said something that he would do, and it happened.
Oh, you blockhead. That's what I was going to say right now. Seriously. Do you know, Christy, I was getting some real Star Trek vibes right there in that scene where you said, or you asked him, can you create the weapon? And he says something to the effect of, I've been waiting my entire life for you to ask that. And I'm paraphrasing, but it was great. You trusting him on his word, and he says, I'm in, baby. It was awesome.
Yeah, because it's such a trust thing. Like, when I first read it, I was like, would I trust him after everything he's done? But then I was like, no, but it's like trust getting to do like what evil little Trust loves to do. Like he loves to like gain power and be in control of everything and be the hero of his own story. So I was like, no, of course I would trust him because it's like something he loves, like he gets to like save the day in a way.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. He bought you that time. That was really impressive.
Yeah.
I did appreciate that scene, and it reminded me of Star Trek episodes, whatever. But
totally.
You guys, I'm going to have to pick out some other scenes for Sunday because there was so much that reminded me. And it was just, it's like symmetry. It's what George Lucas said. It rhymes. Good storytelling rhymes. So, Michael, you're up.
I love the scene. I love the scene too when Ian is like becomes the mediator. He's like,
and we have
he's
some
like,
snacks.
well, and he's like, well, and I'm like, come with me.
Yeah, that was. Oh, and by the way, I don't know his name, and I apologize. I need help. The first officer of the Eastern Federation. What an a-hole, but I mean in a good way. There were really good vibes from him, and I was still surprised when he shanked him.
Yeah, same. I was too. I didn't know if I would be, but I was. He did a good job. He did a really good job.
Yeah,
I didn't trust him.
I do apologize.
Trust him at all.
I didn't notice it when it happened. I thought Lane got away, and then all of a sudden he's dripping blood. So it was a good.
I didn't trust that guy. I didn't trust him. As soon as he showed up, I didn't trust him.
You knew. You were like, this guy is gonna do something bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have seen that. Michael, go
And
ahead.
I guess that's why Garnet has almost too much empathy.
You know
That heart, I love that heart.
Okay,
Yeah.
you have empathy, you have heart, but there's a consistency. I've talked about it, Christy, in some of the other episodes. There are times that you've made decisions that annoy me,
Same.
but okay, interesting. Okay,
Same.
but there's a consistency to your character, good or bad, and that we've commented on. Again, these are real people, real characters.
Yeah, and it's I think a
They're
beautiful,
flawed.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful story or character idea of like someone who just really believes in people. I think that the world needs more characters like that.
Yeah.
Where like despite the fact that like you could potentially be evil, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, and when you mess up, I'm going to give you another chance, and I'm going to try to nurture you to like choose goodness. I think that I like that story. I used to suffer a little bit with it because I'd be like, does she not know it's them? How does she not know?
Wow.
Yeah, I used
We
to
had
be
those
like,
questions.
I was like, really, guys? Like, she's trusting the clones again? Like, she's trying to save the like clones she just air jump punched? Like, what the? But when you get to the core of it, I think there is something really beautiful to be learned there. And I've learned a lot from Garnet in that aspect. That people deserve second chances and that, like, you know, yeah. And she's the only one giving them. Like, nobody else is really giving them.
Yeah.
She has to convince people to give them. So it's kind of, it's cool. It's a great, message, I think, for people.
Well, I don't think anyone else caught this, and I do want to go to Michael right now, but what you just said was uttered by a one William Shatner some 40 years ago when he said, James Kirk or Captain Kirk has taught me stuff. Wow. Wow.
But I learned something from every character I play, I think.
Yeah.
I think you have to, like, when you play other people, I think that's the beauty of acting is, like, we're walking in someone else's shoes, Like, I get to really understand, like, why that person does what they do, and you touch aspects of that, hopefully, within yourself, Like, what would it be like if I didn't give up on people or, X, Y, and Z. So, yeah.
Michael.
Should we just keep
questions
cutting
went.
Michael? Should we just keep cutting Michael off?
I'm overqualified. Thank you, Christy. Thank you for being a team player.
I don't
on that.
mind. I don't
Roger,
mind you
Roger
cutting me off,
literally
Christy.
said
But when
like
Roger, it
7
just.
Scorekeeper.
See now he just moved. He's gonna move away from me next.
Yeah.
Actually, I could move him. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, I could move him and do that. And he likes staring at me,
Yeah.
But that's all right. But anyway, Miss Christie,
Miss Christie.
what would you? I don't know if we asked you this or not. I think we might.
Ask
If we did, tough, because I want to ask it again because I have a feeling you might give a different answer this time.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
No, Roger, it's not on the phone.
Is it the other one?
No.
Let me call my agents. No, I'm just kidding.
You might need to. You might need to.
He's building up to dramatic things.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
this is even
the
worse than
dramatic
mine.
pause that there's some
I'm
behind
poised.
that. I know,
Okay,
but-
hit me with
okay, hit with the question.
Yeah.
If
Mm-hmm.
you could play another character in the arc,
Oh, she did. Yeah.
we did, but has it changed who you picked before because of these last few episodes, which has been 9 since we talked to you before?
That is fair.
Who did I say before?
Mr. Trust.
Oh.
Yeah. Remember when we were talking about if you could like exchange with a character?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got some good stuff. I don't know. Ian's pretty rad.
See, that's why I was asking the question because I had a
Ian's
feeling you
pretty-
might make a
Like
change.
Ian, like the Ian character, genuinely, I think the way that Reese has crafted that character makes me laugh, and I always love playing characters that make me laugh. but I just wouldn't do it as well. Like it would be terrible. It wouldn't be good. It would have to be like a Southern version of that. I love to play a Southern lady.
Oh, that would be
So
fun.
So it'd have to be a Southern version of that.
A Southern Canadian or a Southern Southern United States?
Very good.
I think Southern United States. It's like Southern Canadian. What would that be?
Toronto.
Toronto.
Toronto. Yeah, Toronto or Quebec.
Or Calgary.
Quebec. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Although I think I would insult too many French Canadians. I don't know.
I have in
or
the
like
past,
Fargo.
so I understand.
Yeah, or Fargo.
Oh, there you go.
Fargo, like, oh, don't you know? That
Oh,
was,
geez, now.
Very good.
that was an idea that we had for alternate Garnet. Like, oh, what if she's talking like this, say? And like she's like, oh, Bryce. And then Bryce
gosh.
shows up and she's like, I can't believe you're here. Oh, Bryce. I thought you died. But then I was like, I literally was like, that ruins all scenes. Like it's just like it's like
You would have taken over all
You're
the
done.
scenes.
like what would have like what it wouldn't have been emotional. It would have been like, oh, Bryce. Bryce. I'm trying to think. Well, because what's one of my lines? Like, oh, who's Dr. Kabir? Like, oh. Yeah, it just would have been a lot of ohs.
Oh man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, that is great.
Yeah.
Michael, did you want to continue or go off?
I don't know. No.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing too hard with that last.
Fair enough. Marsha,
Yeah.
you're up. Oh, and
That was
Marsha, no,
good.
forgive me a moment. Folks, all kidding aside, it is Friday night. We're running out of time for Christie. Fire off your questions in the chat room or comments. I do want to say once again, Christie, you have silenced the audience for about 10 minutes. Everyone is just listening to everything you're saying. That is
Oh
amazing.
my gosh. I
That
think
is-
as I answer all their questions, I'm like, don't worry, guys, I got you. Oh, don't you know?
You know
I want
what?
that
accent
I want
works.
that as voicemail, by the way. Oh, you reached Jack's email. You know.
Oh, you
Um,
reached
Jag-
Jag's email, eh?
Jag
He's
and
not
Christy
here.
Jag and Christy will understand this comment. No one else will. Jag, you need to put another option on that thing that you created.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because didn't I text you? Like you messaged me about to watch episode 9 or something, and no, that was about 10. Never mind, that's secrets.
Yeah. Secret.
Oh, okay. You guys are going to keep secrets? Of everyone here, Christy, I was the only one screaming at Comic-Con for you.
Literally the only one.
No. No,
But
you know what?
I'm still bummed you didn't come and say hi to me. What the heck?
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to know
Whoa.
now. Bring it
Okay.
up.
What the heck?
Do you really want to
Yeah.
know what it was? Christy, this is what I want. Look, I knew this was a big time for you, and you asked, or I said I was going to see you there. You said, yeah, come on,
Yeah.
please come in,
Yeah.
and I was there. I didn't want to come across as the needy fan that was probably chasing after you and stuff like. I didn't want.
What are
I
you
was.
talking about?
I was kind of waiting to say, hey, look, I have a few minutes. Would you be able? I was stupid, Christy.
Yeah,
It was
okay.
your day. It was your day, and
Go back
I-
to that
I-
accent, Christy.
But
I didn't
that-
want to
but
be
like-
that one.
Yeah, use the accent again.
Yeah.
Okay, listen here. If I would have seen you at the Gold Comic-Con, okay, I would have been like, oh, my friend. Stop. I got to see my friend.
And Christy, don't get me wrong. I am flattered. I'm blown away, but it was also your time because once again, folks, when they put her
there
on the
for the
panel,
fans.
she was in the middle, baby. She was right there amongst some luminaries, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. That was like the craziest thing I've ever done in my life. And then I had to go to a photo shoot afterwards. I don't know, really
Yeah.
crazy, weird stuff. And then I walked the me, my agent, and my sister walked Comic-Con because we were like, what's this all about? I've never been to one. And we like walked and saw the cool exhibits, and I've always secretly wanted to be a Pink Power Ranger. And I found the Pink Power Ranger like exhibit, and I was like so stoked. But it was so cool. But it was really funny because people were like, "Hey, isn't that?" But then like by the time they'd put 2 and 2 together, they'd like, I'd be gone. But my sister would be like, because of your hat. Because people would be like, isn't that? And my sister would look at them and be like, and then we just keep walking. But like, I was like, I'm not stopping unless somebody's like, oh my God, it's you. Which no one really did except in the hotel.
This will be the last time that happens.
Oh my gosh.
And I mean that in a good
Yeah,
way. You're going to be recognized. You are being recognized more and more. And again, before I go to Marsha,
let me ask one more question before we get off that. Go ahead.
Go, Christy.
Let me say this before we move forward. If you ever see me on the streets, please come up to me. Like, please, I love it. I'm here for the fans. I'm so touched that people watch the show and tune in and like want to see something that I like poured my heart and soul into. If you connected to it, yes, please come see me. Like, I am super approachable, I hope.
Yeah, you are.
Unless you cut me off in traffic.
Then we get along again.
But like, seriously, like, do not like be afraid to come or like think that it's weird. Like, I welcome it. So
and I get that. And I just it was your day. It was like you were having a good time. I didn't want to be that one. But because of you, and I was there, Dean and his entourage walked in, and I was like,
oh yeah.
And I was like, Dean, in my mind, Dean Devlin. But it came out croaked. It was like, Dean.
Yeah.
And he stopped and he turned around and he recognized, like, oh my God, he heard me. And I was like, hi, Dean, Roger. I know who you are. How you doing? And he very quickly said hi. And I said, sir, I'm sorry. I'm interrupting you. I know you're going to go see Christy. I just want to say hi. And it was cool because they weren't letting him in. They were not. And he says, I'm here to support, and then, it was very quick, but he walked in right next to me and I'm like, oh,
what a legend. What a legend. I still do that. Whenever I see Dean, I'm like,
but because of you, Dean. I met him and I thank you for that. You're Michael,
welcome.
Go.
What I was going to ask is about the convention and the panel. Did you know who else was going to be on that panel with you, or you had no idea?
No, I had no idea. And then I got into the like holding room and I was like, okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? And my shoes, I was sweating so much because I was so nervous. And my shoes were like, they didn't have grip. So I was like doing a Celine Dion death grip onto my shoes. And yeah, I kind of blacked out a little bit, but it was fun. That was a good panel, I feel. And good people, and I wish them all the best, and they're all uber famous and way crazier than me. So,
but
it was
once
really,
again,
it was really cool. It was really cool.
You were in the middle, and they went to you first.
Frickin' Bruce, man, what a guy!
Yeah,
what a guy! I hope I get to work with him one day. He's rad. He's like,
he is.
He's a good time. I bet you like. He kept talking about smoking joints, and I was like, did you smoke one today, Bruce?
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck? Yeah, he was a great time. It was a really good panel.
Look, you had some alpha dogs, and I mean that in a good way. You had some real alpha dogs on there, and you held your own. That was one of my first posts you did, and I have no one to say, but it was great. Marsha, go. We're getting short on time, guys.
Yeah. The whole episode. I'm curious. Do you film that sequentially? Was it filmed according to how it was shown, or?
So I feel like a lot of our episodes are filmed based on location. So if it's like just on the bridge, we shoot all the bridge stuff. Or if it's just in Med Bay, you shoot all the Med Bay stuff. So it's really kind of like a mixture. And you kind of go like all over the place. And then there were scenes that we missed because we ran out of time just because it was such a demanding episode. So we had to come back and shoot stuff. And so I kept seeing Lane, like Reese's Lane. And I was like, can you just die? like I'm traumatized.
Oh my God.
Dead? Like I would see him in the hallways and I'd be like, are you dead yet? Can we let go of this? Can we move on? Like I'm pretty sure like the scene with him and Richard was shot like really late. And I just was like, oh yeah, we are talking about San Diego Comic-Con, yeah, in July.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just was like, I keep seeing you. I want to move on. But yeah, it's definitely shot out of order sometimes. But if you see something that's like in one location, like the Med Bay, and those scenes kind of run consecutively, we'll shoot it like a play, like it will be all one scene essentially. So that's really, I like that. That's really rare and really cool. It's like it helps you as a performer, I think.
Yeah. Well, when we were looking at the talk about the GSA when they were revealing the real intent, what did that feel like when everything kind of flipped?
It's pretty crazy because like the Ready Room, I would say, is the one location where we're in this tight room, and like then you have these like 7-foot tall Serbian camera operators, so we're all just like huddled in this room. I'm usually like profusely sweating because it's so hot in that room with all those bodies, and everyone's like, is my water bottle in shot? Like we're all trying to make sure like no water bottles are in shot. And then it's usually like a lot of dialogue, a lot of information that needs to be heard clearly, and like fast as well. So I find we all get really loopy in those scenes. Like I know the scene where Lane leaves and looks at Ava and then walks out. Me and Tiana could not stop laughing at Reese getting up and walking and staring at her. Like we just, for whatever reason, once again, thought it was so funny. I don't know why. And like, I remember crying because I was like laughing so hard. So like those scenes I find are like hard in the sense of like, we can't stop laughing. Like once someone starts laughing, we can't stop. And I do know that Paul at one point said he went to go say billions, but he said something else, and it was like billion.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, what? Like I can't say my next line because that's literally the funniest thing that's ever happened. So yeah, there's a lot of that where like we're saying really hard lines and trying to say them like as written, and some of them sometimes are tongue twisters, and we just like we make each other laugh so much. Like and me and Tiana, because we were sitting head to head, like usually there isn't someone sitting at the other head of the table, so that was the other thing, is I was used to like looking down and seeing no one, and that's kind of like when I start to get giggly, that's like my savior, because I'm like, oh, I can just stare at the wall and think of dark things,
Dark
like
thoughts.
people. Yeah, I'm like people dying, limbs, like. But in this case, I would be trying to think those things and be looking at Tiana, who is like, and I was like, don't you dare, don't you dare.
Oh my gosh. Thank
the arc.
you.
We have too many good times on that show. Too many good times.
Yeah, it shows. It's just funny that in all the drama, you guys are dying laughing. Pardon the pun.
Hey, when it came time for him to die, we were not laughing.
No.
Like,
No.
We were traumatized. That day ended, and we were all like,
yeah.
And in episode 10, there's a scene that like all of us from like the cast and crew were just destroyed by. So get ready.
Wow.
All right.
Fantastic.
There you go. 5 days away.
Please
5 days away.
I can't tell you anything
No spoilers.
I can't tell you anything else other than that.
Yeah, but
Other than
that's
that,
fair.
like that it was like, yeah, I think episode 9 is a really good
Appetizer.
Appetizer to like the main event, which really kind of feels like 10. Yeah,
That's interesting. Okay, I thought it was a two-parter, but anyway, it's okay. Jag, go for it.
So something, just one real thing. I like the little redemption that they gave Ava. Remember, she was kind of being tossed aside because she had said she was EF, and then at the end she ends up kind of buying time. So I kind of like that little redemption part.
Me too.
So this is
I think that's the only way that like Garnet forgives her.
Yeah.
You know, like I think that was the only way she would kind of.
Yeah. And the other thing I was going to say, and maybe this is actually a question for you and anybody else, when it was time for the discussion of the organs and everything, was it just me that thought it was going to be Ian that was going to do the sacrificing and not Lane?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
I thought it was me.
When I was watching, I had that thought too, and I think they all in Medbay kind of, Garnet and everyone thinks that too. Like they're kind of like, what? And then they realize who he's talking about, and then it's like, oh, right. But yeah, I had that thought too. I was like, wait a second, what? But
yeah, because I was like, yeah, because I was like, well, since he had already mentioned that he was already bred for that, so it only kind of just going, he's going to do it, and he was going to do that deal. But when I found out later, when we watched the episode later, we find out it's actually that just went 10 times in the gut, 10 times harder, because I thought even with Ian, had it been that, it would have been hard because we all grew and have grown to love even, his character.
Yeah.
But it was just that. I was just wondering if I was the only one. So it's good to know that Garnet and you always, okay, I'm not crazy yet. So that's good.
No. I definitely thought the same thing. And yeah, it's interesting because like I just saw that comment that I think Tom, was it? Tom left. Yeah. It's interesting because like we forget that like Lane was a clone that was bred to provide spare parts too. Like that was actually his job, but he was stolen by his dad, like by the captain, by his dad. So it is like you kind of forget about that fact, right? Like that he learns that about himself, and it's really cool. It's kind of like, and it reminds me of, did you guys ever read that book, Never Let Me Go? I might have ruined that book for you then, but it's kind of similar. It's kind of a similar.
Hey, no, that's fine.
Oh, well.
Don't read it now. But it's like a sci-fi book that's about clones who are bred to like donate their organs. It's really sad, but really good book. And it kind of reminded me of that story. But yeah, I thought Ian. One second, it's getting really dark in here. But I thought Ian was gonna donate, and he should.
Yeah.
I still believe that. He should have done that.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's getting dark on the West Coast.
It's getting dark. And then just final, I think I asked you this last time, and we can go up to 9. Aside from what happened in 9, I know we're talking just 9. Has there been anything else that surprised you as a character, or anything else that kind of threw you for a loop this season?
Not having, we know that, right?
Not having what?
Yes, we know that. Yeah, not having a match, I think, really surprised me.
Yes, yeah.
I was like, I can't remember what episode that is, but yeah, we know that.
Jag, you did it bad.
I did not do that. No, I said up to 9.
Me. Yeah, that surprised me. Like, that was sad. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, that's awful.
Yeah.
But also, like, in all my research that me and Jonathan have done, Glasner have done on clones, like, that would be a way for them to, like, differentiate, humans from clones, is like that they wouldn't be able to like have matches and stuff like that. But it also just furthers that narrative, like that we don't want her to have the human experience, that she is just a machine and not a human, which is quite sad. And also that it comes from trust is also really sad. So that surprised me. Ava being Eastern Federation surprised me a little bit. Like, I was kind of like, oh, makes sense. But I was like, whoa, I didn't see that one coming. What else? I'm trying to remember. I like what's happening with Kelly and Trust. I think that relationship was like masterminded by Garnet. Like, I truly feel like she was like, these two remind me of each other, and they should really like, they need to get together in like friendship, or mentorship in a way. I'm trying to remember. I did like episode 8, the big stunt scene, and then Ian helping us was I really liked that. That was really cool. I'm trying to think. There's so much that happens,
Yeah,
and I don't want to
there's
give.
been so
I don't
much.
want to give like 10, 11, 12 away.
But
That
no,
could
no,
be
no.
like-
No. And then just before I go, I just want to say shout out to the guest stars this season with Boyan and trying to remember the other guy.
Kieran?
The EF captain, Kieran and Kieran.
Yeah.
Yeah. To talk about intense for just being one or few characters.
Totally.
It's just amazing that the work that everybody's done this season. So I'm going to take it back to Roger. Thanks.
Richard, do you have one more?
Oh, not really. We went over everything and with everybody else, but I am still glad that there are paperbacks 100 years from now.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that he wasn't holding a Kindle or some kind of pad. He had an actual paperback. So it must have been in that big crate that you guys got in episode 7 or 8 where all that crap was in it. And
I loved that. That's another thing I really thought. I didn't see that coming.
So
I thought that was really cool.
Oh, the Remember Earth?
I thought it was cool too because then Bryce or Richard got his guitar so he can start playing music and get into and do some demos and go on tour to the other arcs. So that was awesome. But still, But I guess we've gone over everything, and I don't have any questions. I guess at this point because we've gone over your character growth, and I'm sure we'll see more before the season is over. And and I'm gonna the last thing I'm gonna say is that I'm looking forward to the series finale because I think it's going to be a ball buster. I'm sorry, Michael, about that language.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Your fine letter has been sent to you.
That is more real than I care to admit. But anyway.
No, I'm so sorry. I said SHIT a couple
times. No, Christy, no. You're listening to internal stuff amongst us. No, don't even worry about that. No, not even.
Okay,
no, you're fine. I'm the one that gets in trouble all the time.
Yeah, we have no FCC right here. No, all kidding aside, Christy, don't even sweat it. No, it's all good. Look, on behalf of everyone in the chat room and for us right here, Christy, when you were announced that you were going to be on with us, Michael asked me because he set it up and he did it quick because you guys, he said, "Are you surprised?" I said yes and no. No, because it's Christy, but yes, still. We were still surprised, but
I told you I would.
Yeah, you did, and you did. But look, this was an absolutely phenomenal thing being able to be on with us. There's still so much more that we could have discussed, but seriously, this is your time. You're giving us a Friday. I'm sorry?
It felt like the episode. We cried, we laughed.
There is a lot in this.
No one died, and let's thank God for that.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible what happened. But I just want to say again, thank you, young lady. It's you continually blow fandom away. You in the role, as I said this last year and I said this year before it was mentioned at Comic-Con. You are a leading lady in female captains. Today you stand out, but there will be a time where we won't have to mention that. But for right now, you're it. You're with Janeway and you're with a few others. That is
what
something.
The heck?
Hell yeah. And we are so happy that we had the privilege of making a tiny bit of history with you. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I love
Hey, Roger.
it. I love it.
Is it worth asking the question that we've been asking? Is it worth it?
Yes.
Because I think I know the answer.
I don't know. Go for it.
Okay, we'll ask. So we've been asking Christy, for everybody that's been on the show or been on our program.
Oh, no, wait.
After you, I don't think we asked her.
I don't know. I don't think we will.
Not ask her?
No, we haven't.
I don't think so.
So that's why I'm a little.
We had, and we're not talking about the phones. We already had that and the music. Yeah. No, go ahead, Jack.
So we've been asking people now if Garnet, which already has an arc, but if you were given your own arc, or even Christy, if you were given an arc, what number or symbol or whatever would you like arc 1, arc 10, arc 15? what number would you or Garnet
Ooh.
like?
You need to know that Mercedes. I suggested 86 because she likes to 86 people. She
Yeah.
liked it, but no, she is royalty, so she's number one. That was, for example.
Yeah.
Ryan
so
said
That's what she
8.
said.
Yeah, Ryan said
That's
8, and there's
Yep.
several others.
Oh,
So,
Oh.
hang on. We got to give her Milan Konjevic, the director.
Yes.
He
Oh,
wants
yeah.
Arc Infinity was
that
awesome.
was
my gosh.
creative. Yes.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay.
Um,
Trust. Paul said just Trust Industries or just the
Oh yeah.
logo.
No name, just trust. That was good.
Yeah. And then Pable said Arc 42 for the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, that's cute. He's so clever.
Yeah. But you're not jealous, right?
Not jealous at all.
I hope he sees that. Honestly, I feel like I'm starting to realize after doing this show that like I am an adventurer, and I think that's why Dean casted me in this part. And I would want to be on Arc 1. I would want to be on the first because I would want to I'd be signing up. Like I'd be signing up for the first expedition, I think, if I could, you know. I think Arc 1, or the Arc, end scene.
There you
Oh,
go.
the art.
But-
Okay.
The Arc, I like that.
No, I would be on Arc 1 for sure. But I've said that in other press. I think when I was with Reese and Richard, they were like, would you ever go to space on an Arc? And I was like, heck yeah. I love an adventure. So I think I would be Arc 1.
Yeah. And you know what? You do not, as always, lady, you never disappoint. Because that's what I figured. That's what I figured you were going to
Wait, what did she say? Arc 23 for...
Yes, Nathan.
Oh my gosh.
That's his gamer
That
tag.
is-
Yes,
never-
I would have
Oh,
taken
that's
23
cool.
because of Don Mattingly, a baseball figure. But of course, I
Nice.
chose Arc 47 because that's the freeway exit that leads to the Claremont colleges, which is the in joke in many movies. 47. But you know the joke,
Oh.
right? That the Enterprise D is the 5th incarnation of the series, 1701D. It just means that they've lost the 4 prior ships. Well, I'm Arc 47E.
Keep losing ship.
I've already lost 6.
So,
Or I'm on my 6th incarnation. So
and then, but it's not as bad as Michael. He's Arc 2, which
Mhm.
vaporized.
yeah, we
Mike-
found out he blew up. Yeah.
Arc 2, which is
Vaporized.
Vaporized.
it's like everyone else did it, so you were like, I guess I'll do it.
Well, I was one of
No.
the first ones that gave an arc number, and I said 2. I said 2 is really not vaporized. It was all a plot. They're in a different dimension.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's cool. That's a cool idea.
Mhm.
And
Different,
he was
launched.
from the very beginning. He did say Arc 2. We're like, yeah, the one that blown up. Way to go, Michael. No, it was good. Christy, again, on a Friday night, you're sharing with us this, and you did tell it. Oh, Sharon. I know, sorry.
Sharon.
I didn't mean that.
Oh, Sharon.
Oh, and she's the Sharonator even 10 times more this
Oh
season.
my God! In the
Oh,
prior
yeah.
episode, when Kelly, I referred to her as the Terminatrix because she was.
Well,
She's
Oh,
like, "Phew,
oh,
phew." She
I thought you
grabbed
said you
somebody's
were gonna-
neck and went,
Yes, I thought you said you were gonna lock her comm badge thingy away, and you pulled the desk tray
Little
out and
desk.
you got her back. I did. I talked about that. I'm like, oh come on!
yeah, it's like she didn't lock it away.
It's okay. You hadn't locked it away yet, but I thought it was funny and it was cool.
And it-
Yeah.
and we called her the Kellynator now
Yes,
as well.
but-
Oh
because,
heck yeah.
yeah.
It was a great episode. How you immediately you knew something was up and you activated her. That was cool. That was good.
Yep.
Yep.
Recreated.
Crawling on the ground.
And with that accent, that would have been great.
Oh, that would have been great.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. What would have my lines been? Oh, I've been drugged. Oh, I can't see. Oh, Kelly saved me.
Oh my God.
That's hilarious.
I want to
we're-
be in I want to be in Fargo so bad. I just think I could nail it. You know.
You could.
And,
Definitely.
and there it is. Also, Nathan did say something about talking about Comic-Con conventions. There's 2 main Comic-Con convention companies which run in Australia I've been meaning to find time to chase them up for possible guests.
Uh-oh.
I would totally go to Australia. Little known fact, I am a New Zealand citizen.
Ooh.
Really?
Mm-hmm. My dad's from New Zealand, and I spent a majority of my life in New Zealand. So I could go to Australia for Comic-Con and then hop over to the old motherland. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Wow,
Look at
that is
that.
cool. Well, if and when we get a chance to meet again to talk about this, it'll be really cool. We'll have to ask about New Zealand. And unfortunately,
yeah.
I'm going to be dumb and ask, were there any
Okay.
souvenirs?
Like from this year that I took?
I don't know. I don't want to put you in the spot.
Oh no, how about from Comic-Con that you went to?
Oh,
No.
Comic-Con. I just took my badge and a brochure. I thought was, the brochures.
That was given to you. No, I'm talking about the ARC season 2.
I know, but I did
Oh,
not
no,
have
they
enough
can't do that.
trouble.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
but
what I
I've
said.
already said I took like a jacket, and
Mm-hmm.
then I got asked that question with Dean because me and Dean did interviews together, and they were like, "Did you take anything from set?" And I was like,
Hmm?
Yeah, right next to the boss. Perfect.
and then I told them, and Dean was like, "That's awesome," and I was like, "Thank you." I was like, "Thank you." So it's been approved by Dean. So
There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
I took a jacket, which I was gonna show you it, but I can't
No,
Okay.
no.
because
Okay.
it's in a future episode.
No. Nope. And next time, if you could give us a tour of where you were, like last time, that would be good.
Oh,
By
yeah.
the way, where you were last time, we've been
Oh, that was
talking about that one.
beautiful.
We spoke of it for months, Christy, because we knew you had to get somewhere. And by the way, you're beautifully dressed today as you were that day. Oh, you just blew us away, young lady. You did.
Oh my gosh. Where
Because we
was
knew
I?
you had
You were in
to
I
get
was
Casino.
We're on
Whistler.
vacation.
I was in Whistler.
In Casino, I
Whistler.
think. You were going to go surfing.
Were
Oh,
you?
Tofino. Yes. I was in Tofino.
Is that Victoria
Oh, so
Island?
That's Vancouver Island. Yeah. So that's
Vancouver,
like
sorry, yes.
That's 3 hours away from where Darcy is.
Yeah.
I think 3 hours. I could be wrong, but
Wow,
yeah.
look at Google Garnet.
Google Garnet.
Um,
That's it. You want to know a fun fact about Christie Burke? I am very good with directions.
If I ever get lost, I know where to go.
Yeah.
You're
but-
very good with directions?
Like in directions or
No, I think she remembers what happened just before we went live. That's what I'm curious. You're very good with directions?
But she
Wait,
meant,
did Deanna tell you about how we got lost on a hike?
and
Uh-huh.
7 hours.
And I kept going, I think it's this way. And her being like, absolutely not. And me being like, I feel called to go this way. And her being like, yeah, I'm telling you, it's definitely telling me it's not that way.
Wow, that is cool. All right, well, like I say, no, there's still something else about directions, but we're good.
Oh, directions.
It's
I don't
general, don't worry.
remember.
No,
Okay.
it's all good.
Okay.
I would never, ever dare say because it was funny. That's why I loved it when you said
Okay.
I'm good with directions. Really? Just kidding. On behalf of Marcia, Jag, Richard, Michael, and myself, and everyone in the chat room, folks, I want to remind you, this was Christie's idea.
Yes.
She's here because she wanted to spend the time with us. Think of that,
And
folks.
yep.
It's not us. It was her. And she
That's
gave
why
us
there
almost
wasn't
2
much
hours.
notice. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we apologize for.
Oh, no apologies for that. Look at everyone being here.
And have the best time with Reese Ritchie. What a legend.
I
No,
didn't have
thank
time
you.
to put on my tie.
Oh, that's right. He always
Look at that
dresses.
face. Look at that face.
You're gonna put on a tie for Reese, but not
No, for you.
me?
No, he didn't have time.
Oh, he didn't have time.
I didn't
thought
have
you
time.
say- That's okay. You're
I
right.
always wear a tie. I wore a tie for
That's
you
right.
last time.
You did. You always look like really like dressed to the nines.
Well, somebody has to be look good on this show,
Oh,
Ooh.
whatever.
and I try.
Somebody's got to do it. It ain't gonna be me.
Oh, well, you don't have to try, young lady.
That's why
Yeah.
people try to somewhat make me look less tired on the.
Oh, well, that's only because of the hard work.
I'm always like, wow, I look really tired. But anyway,
Well, you're running around the ship.
Yes.
yeah, I'm working hard.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Running.
Yeah. What did someone say earlier about needing the
Zoomies.
zoomies? Yeah.
Zoomies.
Look, all kidding aside, Christy, you're fabulous. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Tom said thank you all. Nathan, thanks for coming on. It's always great when can make it on. Christy, Pepes says thanks. And yeah, so one final one. NJ, wait, you wanted to be a pink. Oh, wait.
Yeah, I wish I had a photo of me as a little kid. My mom made me a pink Power Rangers suit. I wonder if I have the photo. Okay, just bear with me. Bear with me.
Oh, yeah. Like we're going to cancel. We're going to end the program.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
end
end it
live
right
chat.
now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure we're going to do that.
You need to come prepared, Christy. What's wrong with you?
Get ready.
Oh, you got it.
Oh my gosh.
that's so
Is she the
cool.
cutest?
That is.
But wait,
Wow.
wait until you see my little demon face. Like, what is that?
Oh,
Wait.
hang on. Oh, look at you.
That is great. That is absolutely awesome.
Oh, that is so cute.
Yeah, my mom made that. I've always wanted to
That
be a
is
Power Ranger.
adorable.
There they go. Aww. And sweet.
All together now.
Yeah.
That worked. Way to go, Jack. Oh my
He's so
gosh.
cute.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Thank you.
Okay, well,
Thank you
thanks
so
much,
much.
guys.
Thank you.
And I can't wait for you to watch episode 10.
Oh, you're gonna be back next week too, right? No.
Wait, hey,
We're gonna do this
if
again.
she can, she'll let us
If I
know.
can, we will. Yeah, totally.
Yes. But you know
Thank
what?
you.
You did. You held true. You told us it would be great to talk about 9. You did. Wow.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you,
thanks so
Christy.
much, guys. Have a wonderful
Thank you.
Friday.
Thank
Don't
you.
forget, head on over to imdb.com, find Christie Burke, click on her profile. It takes her profile up, and click on
I
the
didn't even
arc
know
as
that.
well. Oh, seriously, that's how a lot of casting agents look. If people are looking for your profile and they see activity, you are
Whoa.
in. So they say. Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I should have done it, President. You are in. Yeah.
I love how my camera keeps following me. So like when I do something like
That's why. Yeah. But when you were
Okay,
doing the,
you know
the
why,
hands,
Christy?
that was crazy.
2 reasons: professional and baller. Our cameras don't move. As a matter of fact, we
Yeah,
got
look
to
at
slap
that.
them to get activity.
What's
Oh,
that?
okay, bye guys. Have a
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Take
Bye.
care.
Thanks, Christy. All right, folks, we are out of here. ndbmedia.net. Please head on over there and all the other stuff. It'd be absolutely awesome. Michael, do you have any announcements right now?
Yeah, let me go pull up. Got a lot coming up. It's
Yeah.
kind-
Pull up the website.
It's kind of crazy. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, we have Reese Ritchie. On Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, we have the writer for this episode 9, James DeLorean, will be on with us on Talented Universe. And on let's see, the next week, this is so we're talking about another week. We have Sandra Mitrovich, one of the directors for the ARC. She'll be on at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific time.
On the
The next
20th?
day, on the 21st, we have Tiana Upchevay. Ava. We have Ava.
Ava.
So, and she's at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific.
I'm ready.
The same day in the evening, we have 2 of the guys that do visual effects. We have Kevin Good and Derek Dressel.
Yes.
And so that's going to be fun. And then one of the last things, we have Ms. Maddox
Yes.
on the 22nd.
Did you announce that earlier, or is this the first time?
This is the first time on air I've announced
Yes.
it. 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Pacific time. And on the 23rd, we have so many the next weekend. It's so crazy. The 23rd, we have Madeline Hendricks Lewin, one of the co-producers of the ARC, and one of the writers will be on
Amazing.
with us.
What
And that's
Now-
on Monday evening.
Now, by the way, folks, on Monday evening, the 23rd, that will be the celebration of NDB Media kicking off year 17 that we have been on air. That's a long time. We're 1 year away from being legally licensed. So that's why. Yeah, at 18, you get to have your license to drive. We're almost there. And we've been on there because of you. And we're thankful that you spend the time with us. And it's absolutely amazing. And we'll see what happens. And you have another guest, non ARC,
Yes.
on the 30th.
On the 30th, Brian Ackerman. He's an author. I think this is his fourth book that he just released, and we're going to have him on the 30th to talk about his books and cool stuff. And
that will be on a Monday night.
That's a Monday night in America.
There will probably be a Monday night in America on the 23rd as well, because we are kicking off year 17. But there's a lot of stuff going on. I want to turn to Michael right now. Folks, have no illusion. Michael is the vast majority of why these guests are here. Michael is the reason why Sci-Fi works with us. He's the reason why NBC works with us, why NBC Universal, why I separated them, I don't know. He's the reason why HBO and Peacock and all the others, Electric Entertainment, among others, and there's so many more. It's this guy right here that's been doing it. And we get to play in the little NDB Media sandbox with the guests because of his efforts. Michael is doing this almost 24 hours a day. That's why, as you know, he was 20 years old about a year ago. He's now 80 because of all the hard work he's been
pretty
doing.
much.
Yeah.
And I'm taking a couple of people down with me. So.
And yeah, dude,
I've got assistants now.
I'm too far away, so
down.
don't even start. Remember, I already survived the Spring Rebellion back in 2011, so don't even start.
And before we forget, we're about a month away from ElectricCon. That we want to add. The following guests have been added to the roster from the ARC, which was, I believe, from last time was Tiana has been added, Pavle has been added, and Richard has been added. Am I missing somebody, Marcia?
Nope, those are the last three.
And
Reese, Reese was added. Yeah, he was announced about
the
a month
roster
ago.
is starting to
Amazing.
increase. So if you all haven't thought about or haven't considered going to the ElectricCon and you think you can and you want to meet these guests along with the other ones that are being featured, go ahead and do so now.
Okay, the last thing I wanted to add, as I told Michael and a few others, the reason why I didn't go up to her is because of what I said. This is her day. She's having a blast. I didn't want to be that clingy fan, the one that would be. If she would have said that there was an availability, I would have jumped at it, but I didn't want to mess up. She was busy. It was her day. It was her first Comic-Con, and I was happy to be there, and I'm eternally grateful, but it's all good. That I didn't want to see the last part of it, but I think I did because it was her time. I'm kidding, man. I'm not kidding. She was in the middle, man, and they were all around her, and they went to her first, which was awesome, and it was big. Elizabeth, wow, thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Roger, Richard, Marsha, and Jack, thanks to. There's always so much fun because of all of you too. Folks, like I said, I get to brag about owning NDB Media, but it's all of us that are here. It's not me. It's the way it is, which is kind of cool. So you're holding up your hand there, Richard. What?
Like, subscribe, and bell.
There it is. Help us out, folks. We really need it. ElectricCon is only on the opposite side of the world to me, and I'm far too busy with work to be able to take time off until mid-December. Nathan, dude, making all the shows that you have for 2 years. Nathan, we look for you. When you're not here, we feel it. And as we get used to everyone else, Elizabeth, Pest, Tom Ladd, who's one of our newer ones. You know what? I got to give you guys a shout out too, man, because you guys are part of it. Darcy, Kirk, Scott M. Oh my God, I don't think I saw this one. I am so sorry, Scott. I think that's a new poster. And of course, we had Hope in a little while ago. Norm, we did show off that one. Someone by the name of Michael Bednar. who's did a few other comments, and I think Tony Konopka as well. This was great, folks. You guys make it for us, because when there's people in the chat room, we breathe a sigh of relief, don't we? You guys help out a lot. So, guys, thank you, and I guess we'll see you guys on the other side. AndyBmedia.net. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
We
Take
are
care.
out.